It started. Come over, Jack. You gotta come over.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a better one.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Black and White Opinion. This is the third episode, and we're here to discuss today. What, Jack? What is it?
Yeah, we're going to discuss Barack Obama's speech at Stanford a few days ago. He gave a speech about misinformation. So I think what he'd been doing, he'd been watching our show last week and just kind of copied what we said. But it was a very good speech. He talked about like how misinformation ruins everything, and Facebook and Google and Fox and all that. But the main thing I want to talk about is I try and watch a little bit of misinformation every day so that I can get a feel for what other people are seeing, okay? So every day I try and watch a little bit of Fox News because I believe that Fox News is the ultimate in misinformation. So usually my wife is not home at that time of night, but she was at home and she didn't want me to watch it because to her it's like, fingers on a chalkboard. It's just very disturbing to watch it even for a few minutes. But I said, honey, we got to watch it, just 5 minutes. We got to understand what everybody else is seeing. So she goes, okay. So we sit down. So we turn on Sean Hannity, and Sean Hannity starts out the show by saying that that day, which was a few days ago, was the episode that made him longer number of shows than Larry King. So Sean Hannity now has the record for the most number of shows on a news network. Hannity started, I think, in 1996. So he's got the record now. This week he passed Larry King in terms of cable news shows. So anyway, that was really a disheartening thing to hear that he had been on that long. But anyway, after he was done patting himself on the back and thanking everybody for what a great show he does, he started talking about Barack Obama's speech. And what he did is he did a little clip of Obama's speech where Obama said Sean Hannity. So he took a little clip of that, okay? And what he did is he says, he's always talking about me. And then he played a montage of clips for about 30 seconds where you just hear Obama at different times and places saying, Sean Hannity, Fox News, Sean Hannity. So he had his people go back over a period of, 10, 15 years and had this, Barack Obama saying, Sean Hannity, Fox News, and Fox News. And so Hannity then stops all this and says, you know what? He's got some kind of infatuation with me. He must think that I'm something, that he's always talking about me. Anyway, at that point, I pushed the TV on hold. And I said to my wife, I said, do you remember what Barack Obama said in that Fox segment? That was about 30 seconds ago, a minute ago. What did Barack Obama say before Hannity cut the clip, or started cutting all these clips in? And so she thought a minute and she said, I don't remember. And I said, I don't remember either. So what we did is we wound up the TV to the part of the show where he starts talking about Barack Obama, and he brings on Barack Obama when he's saying that they did some research and they paid people from Fox News to watch CNN for a little while and it changed their minds. Okay, that's what he said. Now the point is after that flood of stuff from Sean Hannity, you forgot what Obama even said. It's not even part of the deal. So anyway, if you go back and watch Obama's speech, it's like an hour long. If you watch the speech, what he says is he accuses people like Sean Hannity of flooding the airwaves and the internet with what he calls sewage. He said, you just flood it with sewage. You just put a bunch of stuff out there. You put so much stuff out there that people start to have doubt, and all you need is a little bit of doubt, and then you can get people to do what you want them to do. So Hannity had just done exactly what Obama was talking about on his show the next day. So, I don't know what more you need about disinformation. Obama said it on Fox, then Hannity did it, but of course, Fox viewers are not smart enough to push pause and back up to remember what Obama really said. But what Hannity did is he just flooded it with a bunch of sewage, right? Some stuff that didn't mean anything. Everybody lost what it was saying. They say, oh yeah, Sean, you're right. Yeah, Obama's got some kind of infatuation with you. That's how it works. That's how it works. So anyway, but Obama took the cue from our show last week, and then Hannity came in and mixed it up.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but all stations exaggerate or make up something. It's just part of the game. To me, that doesn't tell as much as CNN shutting down their station doesn't. Because a lot of people watching CNN. So CNN Plus over the weekend, I sent you the video, bailed out after spending $300 million. How do you spend $300 million on something that you thought was going to be successful, and then you have to bag out, what, in a year and a half and say, no, we ain't going to go with it?
Well, no, I think CNN's a legend in their own mind, obviously. But anyway, hey, Stan, I have to call you out, man. We talked about this before we turned the camera on.
Yes.
And Stan got real animated and said a bunch of stuff
About what?
about how the major news networks, how they're all messed up. And then you toned it down when we turned the camera on. So say what you really said. Say what you really said. I'll tell you what he really said. He said all of them, including the major networks, they're all spreading disinformation. That's what he said.
They do.
That's what he said.
Because they're in competition. So when you're in competition, you got to get the upper hand on the next network. If we knew what was going on behind the scenes, we wouldn't even turn on the TV because we'd say, oh, it's all a game. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to roll with their favorite president at the time or their favorite politician, whoever's greasing the palm or who they know, who knows somebody behind the scenes. Most of the stuff that they point that's real to us will have to be, I guess, if someone got killed. An accident, simple things, not simple, but simple enough not to be in their business. You know what I'm saying? If we don't report what's happening around the community, then they'd be like, what the hell is going on the news? We just saw this in the community and it's not on the news. They have to do that part. But the real news you're looking for, you're not going to get it out of them because it's all in that. They get paid too much big paychecks. The ones that's sitting up there, that's on there every day for those hours and come in and have the specials and then get the interviews with the people that you want to hear from, it's too much money involved. They'll never give you the real lowdown of how the game is really played. That's why they ask us, who are you voting for? Democrat or Republican? I guess that will go to which station you listen to the most, that'll sway you. Once they program you and manipulate you in the head to which candidate that you're looking at or which one you're rolling with, that's what you're going to hear from that station. They're going to bash one of the candidates, the opposite one. They're going to give you so many good things he might do. He might do one or two good things, but then for the rest of the night, you're going to hear how bad he was or what he didn't pass or what he didn't do. But all of us is looking at that, but our vote still never counts. We're going to see if our vote counts this time around. Because it's a big shakeup and you got some things that's going on, but how do we know? We're at a point right now, you really still believe that war is real, huh? My lady, no, I'm just asking. My lady just came back from Mexico yesterday and she met some people that was on a plane with her from Chicago, and when she got to Mexico crossing, she met some people that was coming in from, what's the country again? That's Ukraine.
Ukraine, yeah.
And those people had some money, but they was coming here and she asked them and she was like, yeah, we're leaving there. We're coming over here to make a living now and do that. So you do have people spread it out and leaving, but what they show you on TV is a totally different thing. There are people that's over there leaving that country because Putin is going to come. They know what's happening. The land is over with. They're moving in a certain way. But everything else is an act. If y'all didn't understand that by now, when was the last time you seen a war and you don't go for the headpiece?
Can I say something about that? CNN. Now CNN does spread misinformation, but CNN did cover that they have changed the refugee policies to automatically let people from Ukraine in immediately. And there's a lot of Ukrainians that went to Mexico first that are now coming to the United States because they get basically an expedited hearing for their refugee status. So it is known that if you're from the Ukraine, at least CNN was saying that you can get in quickly. But anyway, I guess my question for you, Stan, is if you can't believe what you read and what you see on TV, you can't believe Facebook or Google, then how do you decide what's real?
Well, you got to do a lot of research. I'm going to tell you that right now. But the best way that I would say, if you really want to get to know what's going on, you have to tear it to the elders and speak to a lot of elders that was here at that time to understand what you're looking at now.
Talking about first-hand information.
because they have the secrets. And most older people that you sit down with will tell you this: I've never seen it like this before. This is some bull crap. What is this going on? That's coming out of all of their mouth. And they're a little older than you. You could be young as a child, or you could be not too old. You could be in your 20s or 30s, and people could be 50 or 60. And if you ask them these questions, they'll tell you, like, I never seen it like this. I think everybody know right now, this is nothing we ever experienced or been through before, that the world is actually really changing now. So the question is for us, like they say, what side you want to be on? Do you want to be with the AI or technology side, or do you really want to stay, like they would call us dinosaurs, or too much stuff is going digital, a lot of stuff is going to be electric. It's how do you want to do what you want to do for you, and probably for your kids if you have kids, which way would you want to teach them or show them going. Most kids going to already jump with the electronics and the AI and all that stuff because they was never raised the same way as you. But I expect for you to really teach them the old school way, to let them know one day you might have to use the old way. We watch TV every day. Computers can malfunction. Computers might not be a certain person thing, or how much trust do you put in the computer?
How old is your daughter? She's 13?
Yeah, she's 13.
Okay, so she's never known before iPhone, right? Like when she doesn't know, as soon as her oldest memory, she can't remember before iPhone, can she?
No, she ain't gonna remember too much, but she had the
Well,
regular
yeah,
phones,
yeah,
the
well,
regular
yeah.
phones when phones was out, but
Yeah.
before iPhone, like you're saying,
It wasn't computerized.
No.
All right, now Stan, how old are you?
47.
So what do you remember, oldest memory? Do you remember when it was only black and white television?
I remember that.
All right, so there you go. Big kids don't even believe that when you tell them. Only black and white. I'm 63, so I remember a lot of stuff.
Hold on. What you need to ask them then, if you can't believe it was black and white TV, how do you get a black and white painting? How do you get black and white this? You believe those pictures was black and white. You took those
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah, now the other comment I want to make about the AI thing is I drive a truck for a living, and they're doing a lot of work right now with AI driving trucks, like self-driving trucks. So when they come up with self-driving trucks, guys like me are going to be out of work. Now, I think the number is 5 million truck drivers. I think there's 5 million truck drivers in the United States.
Wow.
And I'm making a very good living driving a truck. It's paying a lot of money. So if I'm not driving a truck, I'm not going to have that income. So the question is, what do I do if I lose my job to AI? So
That's very deep.
What's the answer to that?
That's very deep. That's a good question. And what are those companies going to offer? They know they got to lay people off. They know they got to just spring it on you some type of way, say we're moving in a different direction. So I think people should start really asking their companies what are they going to do about that, because the people know it's already here. They got it everywhere. It's like what year or what day they're going to spring it on the people to say, hey, we're making a cutback. Because that means that you got to plan your life. You should be able to be already knowing about this, because if you got to work 10 more years, you know it'll be here before 10 more years.
Yeah.
If you got to work 5 or 6 more years, you know it'll probably be in play then.
Yeah.
So these are questions we need to really ask ourselves, because they are putting up a lot of stuff around us, and we're just waking up to it when we wake up in the morning or go outside or go to work or go somewhere. You like, oh, this is new. Oh, yeah, this is how you use this. They're not going to tell you what day. You just going to have to either see it from the TV or walk into it and experience in your life that's out here now.
Yeah.
And most of us are saying, oh, well, we'll go with the metaverse. You see how they stalled the metaverse for a second, but they're easing you into everything to let you know everything is elevating to those, programs, I would say, because that's where everybody's going to escape. I think most people, when they get off of work, the kids already, when you get off of work as an adult, you go see your kid probably gonna have a thing on his face and be stuck in there. Now, adults, it depends on what they have in their mind and what that thing is offering. Because most people try to find a second thing to gear their energy towards. So they say this world, you could be anything you want. Talk to anybody you want. This time, even stars and everybody, whatever. Do you know how locked in they're gonna have society with everybody with something on their face? So where are you gonna be when you don't have this on your face? When you go back in the regular world, you're gonna be like, what a relief. Or you're gonna stay in this world and be like, well, I think I need to do.
I have to say something. One time, I accidentally dropped my phone out the door of the truck, and the screen broke, and I couldn't use it.
Mhm.
And I couldn't use it for about a day till I got the screen fixed, and it was almost impossible to function without a phone. I mean,
They made it like
I
that.
couldn't get
They
text
making it like
messages. I couldn't call people. All that stuff. Now, when I was a kid, there was no such thing. I mean, I remember before cell phones, nobody ever had a phone. Everybody
Phone.
got along just fine. But now that phone's broken for half a day. It's like you can't function. So.
You're right. When you ain't got no phone, it feel like the world has. And you right away get a laptop or something, or put something else on to grab your attention onto that. But see, that's good that you got they got little phones and stuff and calls on there, and text messages you can get with your laptops and iPads and stuff like that. But most people keep 2 or 3 phones now.